All right, joining me now here on set, Sky News hosts Liz Storer and Joe Hildebrand. Welcome to you both.
Hey.
Lovely to be here.
Joe Hildebrand, I mean, this should not have come as a shock to the Australian government.
No, but I think the problem is that the left in Australia and around the world has just this incredible blind spot, this incredible naivety when it comes to Palestine. It doesn't take much imagination, let alone all the reported facts that have come out, yours included, to know that, you know, one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, and it probably doesn't take too many steps to go from activist to freedom fighter, and then thinking, oh, hang on a minute, what are they doing? Obviously, the signs of celebration after these horrendous attacks of rapes and child murders and all sorts of tortured atrocities should have, you know, immediately set off warning bells. But again, this is it's so strange, and I don't get it. But this is something that the left is just obsessed by, and you don't really seem to see it in relation to anything except Jewish people. Like, there seems to be, you know, they've just seized on as their new Vietnam. They're convinced that Israel is this sort of neo-colonial project. And again, there's this incredible blind spot. If they provided a fraction of the scrutiny to Hamas and Palestine that they applied to the Israeli government, all this stuff would be blindingly obvious.
Well, let's bring up that front page that I mentioned a moment ago from the Adelaide Advertiser. This is tomorrow's front page, $200 million for terrorists. Gemma Jones is the editor of the Advertiser, and her team of journalists have done all the work today, and they've calculated that $200 million of Australian funding. This is everyone's taxpayer dollars. You know, we have among the highest personal income tax rates in the world, and everyone's taxpayer dollars, $200 million have gone to UNRWA since 2010. That copy is going to be up online on the Advertiser website a bit later. Liz, this is extraordinary and so upsetting because even without the reports and the evidence, we can see with our own eyes, Gaza and Palestinians are impoverished. There's a sophisticated tunnel network. The Hamas leaders are billionaires in safe harbours in Qatar and Turkey, while the Gazans suffer. And you have to answer, who's funded that lifestyle?
Well, we know exactly who it is, and I think Joe's being far too gracious there, because what's truly disturbing about today's revelation, which isn't really a revelation because people like yourself and myself have been screaming about it for months already, this is just a day of vindication because now it's in the mainstream media, so, now it's true. The truth of the matter is Penny Wong doubled funding to UNRWA in September 2022. So this is a government who has always believed in the two-state solution, even now, when it should be out of the question. Who in their right mind thinks that Palestine should be recognised as a legitimate state so they can amass a military, elect another leadership like Hamas? This is one of the most radicalised strips of earth in the world.
I think the two-state questions are different. I think that's a different topic.
It is,
I
but
think
right now
would like to see a two-state solution if there is a governing body that isn't a terrorist group.
I just think that sounds like an absolute fairy tale, and expecting Israel to live next door to them after everything that has happened. I think Israel is rightly saying, look, that's out of the question now. But you mentioned the $46.5 million that Wong has given since the massacres. But yeah, she doubled funding to this UNRWA. And in 2021, we know that ALP literally made it their policy platform that there should be a Palestinian state. This has long been going on in the ALP. I'm sorry, I do not think any rational person believes that 6,000 people working at DFAT couldn't do the cursory homework that's required to figure out that UNRWA isn't what it appears to be. Sadly, the Red Cross is no better. Netanyahu has called out both of those organisations for the farce that they are, and asking the open question of, are they doing more harm than good on the ground in Gaza, naively funded by millions and millions of dollars coming from wealthy Western countries?